What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and I'm here with a beautiful albino yellow-bellied ball python female I have. Hopefully she'll be breeding again this season. She's produced some amazing babies for me over the years. She's made my albino Mardi Gras for me, my Mardi Gras head albinos. She is just exquisite. I love this girl. She's a great eater. She's just a gorgeous looking snake. And who doesn't love a beautiful albino or a white leucistic snake? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Leucistics and albinos. I was talking to a new friend of mine, Eric, on the phone. We were talking about how just, people love white snakes. And you can't produce enough of them. And people will always buy those, even if they're not breeding them as pets, because they're just cool looking. I mean, that's my second ball python. The first ball python I ever bought, I should say, was an albino. Someone gave me a normal before that, but they're just gorgeous. And there's a difference. Leucistics are a lack of all pigment, even though a lot of leucistics show pigment spots and stuff like that. Theoretically, on paper, a leucistic is a snake that has no pigment. Okay, so and it usually has black eyes. So it's black eyes with a white body, so to speak. Albinos, however, just lack melanin or black pigment. So you'll see contrast, you'll see pattern, you'll see, a lot of different stuff going on. You just will never see black or anything dark. You'll see, usually yellows and whites in albinos and reds. Now, all albinos have red eyes. If you ask my 5-year-old son, is this animal an albino? He'll look at the eyes and he'll say yes. Or he'll see an animal with the red eyes. He'll say, "Daddy, an albino." He doesn't even know what the animal is. He'll just say albino. So that's the key to albinos. Usually it's the red eyes. But really, in reality, just the true definition of albino is lack of melanin. They can't produce the black pigments. So we're going to take a look at some leucistics, blue-eyed leucistics, black-eyed leucistics, and we're going to take a look at some cool albinos with different genes in them. And hopefully you guys will have a better understanding and better appreciation of this beautiful gene. This snake, this male, was just sold. I couldn't believe how long I've had this snake. This snake is a 2019. I was shocked that it took as long to sell as it did. It's a gorgeous male. He's probably ready to breed right now, I would say. I was going to put him into my breeding rotation, but I have his brother who's in the breeding rotation. This is an Orange Dream Vanilla Cream. Vanilla Cream is a vanilla and fire, and they're allelic to each other. That means they kind of sit on the same gene allele. They line up together. So rather than having two fire genes, you have a fire and vanilla on the same allele, and you create this axe-like super form that they combine together and they produce what we call vanilla cream. If you combine fire with disco, we call it disco inferno. So vanilla with fire is vanilla cream. This is also 100% het clown. So this male is a super powerhouse. You can produce vanilla clowns, you can produce fire clowns with this guy, and of course you can produce Orange Dream fire clowns and Orange Dream vanilla, clowns. So really, really powerhouse guy. He's, when he was first born, he was really orange, and he's gotten more yellowish as he got older, and I think that's because of the fire influence in here and the vanilla influence. But he is just breathtaking. I took him outside here today because I wanted you to see how really, really nice this snake is. And once again, if you breed it to like a fire clown, you can produce vanilla cream clowns, which would be freaking awesome. That's what I'm trying to do this year, actually, to be honest with you. And hopefully it'll happen. But beautiful little boy. He'll be leaving Monday for his new home. Now, I thought the other male I couldn't believe how long it took for me to sell him and that he was still in the collection. Here's his brother. Check this out. This is not a vanilla cream. This is a super fire. Same genes. Now, he possibly has Orange Dream in him, which I think he does because look at his head. Look at that little orange on his head. That to me says Orange Dream, and he's like one of the whitest super fires I've ever produced. Usually super fires have this dirty yellow, along their dorsal striping. He's perfectly, beautifully white. I mean, he's a gorgeous snake in and of itself. So He probably definitely has orange dream in him. He's also possible spider. I don't think he is, but you never know. I don't see any spider-like movement from him. And he's also 100% het clown. So this is the brother of the other one. Instead of the super form, act like super vanilla cream het clown, we got a super fire het clown. And of course, this is more than likely orange dream. Look at that orange spot. There's actually some more orange on his body as well. If you kind of check him out here. He is the whitest of white, though, I'm telling you. If you like a white snake, there's the other one. There's the other orange splotch. So I would, go on record and predict that this guy is probably orange dream, super fire, 100% het clown. He's probably ready to breed right now, I would say. He is spectacular, black-eyed leucistic. So not only is he awesome to just look at and have in your collection because he's so beautiful, but he'll be a terrific breeder. You can make some really nice fire clown stuff with this guy. You breed him to a regular clown, you can produce orange dream fire clowns. So this is, when we talk about males that you want to have in your collection that maybe are not crazy expensive, but that are powerhouses, this is one of them, for sure. I mean, for sure. Now, this girl is a 2020. She's a Super Mojave. That's a blue-eyed leucistic. You see that nice blue eye? I don't know if you can catch it here. Looks a little grayish today. She is also possible GHI and possible pastel. Now, this Super Mojave, if you look at the pattern on the back, you could almost see the GHI pattern. It almost looks super, GHI Mojave has a certain look. As soon as you add that second Mojave gene, it turns white, the snake. But this snake in this sunlight has almost, it looks GHI Mojave. It just looks like a white GHI Mojave. So I would probably, bet my bottom dollar that this is a GHI. This is probably not for sale. I have two of these girls. I think I'm going to keep them because they're such powerhouses. I love GHI Mojave clown stuff. But you can see sometimes having, everyone says blue-eyed leucistics, black-eyed leucistics, dead end snake, white snakes, can't tell anything, you don't really know. I like them because they look cool, and I know that every baby is going to have Mojave in it. She's 100% het clown. So if I breed a male clown to her, I'm going to get 50% clowns visuals. There'll be Mojave in every clown, and then if there's GHI here, I'll get that GHI possibly, as well. But two different contrasting leucistics, this one being the blue-eyed, the other one being the black-eyed leucistic. Let's put them together. All right, so look at the contrast on this now. There's your black-eyed leucistic. Here's your blue-eyed leucistic. Different complexes. This is the fire complex. Super fire produces black-eyed leucistics. And then there's a lot of different blue-eyed leucistics possible, but the Super Mojave is one of them, one of the nicest looking ones. This doesn't look like a typical Super Mojave. Super Mojaves usually have like a purplish tinge and white body, but I truly believe that we're seeing pattern in this snake because of the GHI in there, which is a dark morph. So pretty cool contrast. Look at this. This guy thinks he's a cobra. He's hooding up. He's hooding up. Definite contrast there. What's interesting is that this female is a year younger than this male. And that just is because I feed my males a lot less than I feed my females. I want her up to breeding size. He is at breeding size. He doesn't need to get too much bigger than that. So the males will stay smaller. And if you feed them less, which you should, I believe, you're going to have smaller, you're not going to have as big as snakes. And which the advantage of that also is that mean and lean males breed better and they take up a lot less space for them. So all my males live in V35 tubs. All my female full-growns live in V70s. So I can get 2 males for every 1 female cage space wise, which is a super advantage. Because eventually we all run out of space no matter how big your facility is. Trust me when I tell you that. You will run out of space because you will keep buying snakes and making new snakes. Now, contrast those 2 leucistics that we just showed, the black-eyed leucistic and the blue-eyed leucistic, with an albino. Albino is just a lack of melanin or dark pigment. The leucistics are pretty much, they're supposed to be a lack of all pigment, which we see that that's not always the case. There's always some stuff peeking through, but here's an albino. This is probably one of the nicest albinos I've ever produced. The contrast in this snake is, it almost looks lavender albino, but it's not. This is an albino, which I believe is Enchi too. Well, I'm not sure. And sometimes Enchi has a lot more yellow in it, I find. But this is either asphalt or yellow belly, okay? If I had to guess, a lot of people, we always say, we always sell them as either yellow belly or asphalt because the father was a Mardi Gras. But I've been, just from observing, I noticed that yellow belly has a lot of blushing on that lower portion, okay, right here. Asphalt doesn't have quite as much blushing, and I'm finding in albinos, asphalt creates a lot more, like you see, this dark contrast. And this is, like I said, this is a wacky looking snake. I mean, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous snake. I mean, you can't not want to look at this snake. I mean, it looks like there's a lot more going on than there is. So I'm calling this albino asphalt, although I'll sell it as asphalt or yellow belly because there's no way to definitively prove it till you breed it out. I don't see yellow belly in here. Yellow belly would be way more faded on this lower border. And there could be Enchi in here as well. Once again, it doesn't look like a typical Enchi, but it's so, the contrast is so, defined. I mean, look at this. The white is so white and the yellow is outlined with dark outlining. This snake will be available. I might have it up on Morph Market. I don't know, but contact me if you like them. All right, now here's another kind of albino, another gene combination that I thought I'd show you with also amazing contrast, but this one is predictable. Amazing contrast, because this is Orange Dream. Actually, it's possible super Orange Dream albino. And you could see the orange blushing in the lower border. You can see the outlines. This completely makes sense that this snake is insanely outrageous because of the Orange Dream in there. You could look at the top, the dorsal outlining here. Just incredible, the white contrast. We can turn her over the belly, nice clear belly. This is an amazing albino because it's got some amazing genes. Orange Dream and albino go really, really well together. Look at really cool looking head stamp. Look at that like horn-like area around the nose. Just a really nice albino. And this is I didn't think there was yellow belly in these combos that I produced, but I've been seeing yellow belly like blushing on the lower border. So I'm calling a lot of these possible yellow bellies. I think one of the parents, 2 generations away that I bred them from, had yellow belly in there. So they could be seeing the yellow belly floating around in there. Obviously, the only way would be to breed them out. Now I have as you know, I have the albino Mardi Gras project. So if I bred an albino Mardi Gras, which I have a male who's breeding this year, to something like this, and I produced Mardi Gras or ivories, I would know that there is yellow belly in here, of course, and that's a good way to test things out. Really nice though. I love contrast. Nice possible super Orange Dream albino. These will become available. I just haven't decided to put them up yet because I'm letting them grow out a little bit more, just because Orange Dream gets better as it gets older. So sometimes you want to sell baby ball pythons a little earlier because sometimes they fade out as they get to hit the year-old mark. Not Orange Dream stuff just gets better and better and better. It never gets worse. All right, and this is the final snake I'm going to show you of today. This is an albino scaleless head. Yep, there it is, missing scales on the head. You can see it doesn't look like a normal albino. Scaleless head gene definitely changes pattern, color, in addition to having missing scales. This is a really high expression scaleless head too, and this female hopefully will breed for me this year. I produced her 2 years ago. Just wanted to kind of show you, since we're sticking to albinos and leucistics, that's the theme of today's show. I wanted to show you, how cool the scaleless head albino looks. Once again, it's like from the right behind the eyes all the way down to her nose, no scales whatsoever. If I flip her over, you'll see that caudal. See that last scale before the vent? See how it's split on a any other ball python that's not scaleless head, that is a one scale, not a split scale. So that's another way of telling if you're not sure, although this is a very high expression scaleless head, so there's no doubt, obviously, that this is scaleless head. And I fed her yesterday, so I don't want to stress her out too much, but that's it. You know, there's a lot of different combinations. I love albino stuff. I love leucistic stuff. I know pretty much who doesn't, right? I can't wait, hopefully, to produce a scaleless albino, and she can do it for me this season. Even though she, like I said, is a little bit on the smaller side, I've seen her locked up. I'm praying that we're going to get a nice clutch of eggs from her, and possibly we might actually see a scaleless albino. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little leucistic albino lesson that we did, and we looked at some really cool snakes and some of the stuff I've produced, some stuff that's still available. To be honest with you, I have a lot of stuff available. I got flies coming in. I got a lot of stuff available still from 2020 I haven't listed. I still have some good 2019 stuff that I still will list. Most of it's listed on Morph Market, but if it isn't, you know, I'm going to put some more stuff up. I know a lot of people are starting to look for snakes that have some size on them, that have some age on them, so they can start breeding them either this year, the males, or the females maybe next year. And I do have all of that available, so I will put that up. I know I'm a little behind. I'm a slight procrastinator. They say that procrastinators actually are very, very productive and are very successful because they mull over all the ideas in their head so long, their procrastination period, that by the time they actually put out a finished content, it's so polished and so good that they usually do better with what they produce. They say that people like in Hollywood who write these scripts, you know, you hear about them, they put it off, and then they write the script in like 1 day. Those go on to become Oscar-winning movies. You know, it's always the irony. But the reason is because procrastinators think a lot about what they're doing. They know what they haven't done, and they know they're procrastinating, but they're also creating in their mind, you know, what they want. You know, remember, our thoughts create our reality. So nothing wrong with a little procrastination as long as you get around to it eventually. All right, I hope you guys liked today's video on albinos and leucistics. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification, hit the like button. We'll see you back tomorrow morning.